Welcome everyone to Dynasty Warriors 4 Extreme Legends Part 36. In this episode we'll be going to the Battle of Hanzhong. Now in order to get this stage, you have to allow Ding Zhuo to escape after beating all of his generals. That includes Lu Bu. And then after you beat Ding Zhuo, you allow Ding Zhuo to escape, you successfully cause a fire attack in Church B, but at the same time you skip Mount Ding Zhuo. So therefore, this stage comes to be. By the way, unlike Cao Cao, Zhuge Liang does not have the same character model. And yes, I am playing as the Prime Minister of Benevolence, so that he can implement his strategies to get out of a one-man army fight against Ding Zhuo. As you can clearly see, Zhuge Liang is the only person here. Now, if there was a two-player effort and they're playing two different characters, not only are you protecting the fort, but you're also protecting Zhuge Liang. Which, by the way, that's hard as hell. I'm not gonna sit here and lie to you. That just makes it even more harder, because Zhuge Liang starts out the battle with 3 morale. Hold on, let me show you. Let me show you right quick. This is Zhuge Liang's morale. Let's go to everyone else's morale. Yeah. So you're gonna have to work to get your morale at a high state. Otherwise, you're gonna die. Thankfully, I have high-level weapons, or I should say high-level items, that would make, like, the starter characters that I'm using a lot better. At least for the most part. So with this said, folks, we're pretty much on dire straits, and we gotta make sure these 2 forts are not taken. And how are they taken, by the way? If the enemy officers happen to take the checkpoints that are there, that means both of the forts will be down, and if that happens, you fail the mission. This is not a hard thing to do, failing the mission, but also, at the same time, there's only one way for these guys to go, and that's straight to the middle. Which makes this a little bit easier, considering some of these guys are going to try to duel you like Zhu Rong here. Zhu Rong
I shall do what I
is
must.
a generic officer that... yeah, frame rate skip. Sorry about that. But I was about to say, Zhu Rong is a generic officer that for some reason has a dual relation with Zhuge Liang. Even though they never met. Like, at all. But it's not just him, I do believe... Oh wait, no, I think I know why. Because I think Zhu Rong had the lowest troops out of the bunch, which is why he got into a duel in the first place. So now we're going to have to go to the west side. But first, let's clear out all these enemy soldiers, so that way I'll be able to go to the west side. And you'll know that your fortresses are in serious trouble when the captain starts begging for help one too many times. Now it's time to go after Niu Fu, who, by the way, is another generic officer that has somewhat of a grudge against Zhuge Liang, even though they've never met. I don't know how this happens, but it is. Oh wait, I just said that he has little officers. Never mind. He too has little officers despite having high morale.
I shall do what I must.
Normally, when certain officers have low morale, like you or like Niu Fu or Zhu Rong, they're gonna start trying to duel you. The good thing is, Lu Bu is not among that group. He's dead by the time of this level in the Musa mode, because you have no choice but to take on Zhuge as Shu. That's a given right there. There's no choice but to take on Zhuge. And by the way, we got Wang Feng who has a duel with Zhuge Liang. So
I shall do what
we might as well take him out too, since he's yet another generic officer. The only reason this would be at a high difficulty is if you're not playing as Zhuge Liang, and Zhuge Liang has a high level.
Officer defeated.
If you are playing, oh wait, Zhuge Liang does not have, oh wait, let me rephrase that. The only reason that this would be hard is if you're not playing as Zhuge Liang, or if you are, Zhuge Liang is at a low level, which in turn would raise the morale of the enemies even more. But seeing as how Zhuge Liang is at a comfortable level, although his fan is at level 5, I'm still doing the business to these officers because of the fact that I have items that are equipped and... No, the items equipped are not only at a high level, but they are shareable amongst all the officers I use. Now, I know there's some people that are complaining about the maxed out officers, but here's the thing. When I get these items, any officer, so long as they can actually equip them, will be strong enough to deal with most of the enemies at hand. I mean, so long as I could actually equip them. But I would be remiss to say that there are some drawbacks here. Like, for instance, Ding Zhuo, who, by the way, has a lot of morale for a guy who just showed up on the field. I mean, I could try to whittle down that morale, but it's not going to stop the superpowered boss mode of Ding Zhuo, which, by the way, why does he have a superpowered boss mode? I mean, he's not a boss. And that's quite alright, though. So long as I focus solely on him, it'll be alright. Oh, yeah, I don't want to be dizzy here. And I do not want to be kill-stealed. I mean, guys, thank you for trying to protect me, but, yeah, I need to get on my own 2 feet, get myself some experience. Because, yeah, Zhuge Liang's gonna need it. I mean, I might not be using him again after a while, but, I may use him for maybe one more battle. Just one more. Meanwhile, Ma Chao has appeared. And if you hold off the forts long enough for reinforcements to appear, things will start looking up. It'll be easier until, you know, all of your characters that come in to help you all have low morale. By the way, if you are hurting for health, try to break open some boxes and some jars. I mean, nothing is stopping you from cutting any of these officers off at the pass. It's just the fact that if you do, you gotta be worried that there are some officers that attack in 2s and 3s that'll try to take alternate routes to go to the fortress. So you can't just be like, rushing into battle and trying to take everyone down, only for you to end up leaving the fortresses abandoned. You can't kind of do that. Why did I just say that? I just butchered the English language. I meant to say you kinda can't do that. I mean, it's doable to just catch him, but only if you have somebody in the second player to watch the back of everybody else. And also, if you don't have to worry about Zhuge Liang, if you or your second player is playing somebody else. So, there's that. I mean, it may look like I'm making this look easy, because again, they're all targeting Zhuge Liang, and the only thing I have to worry about is the fortress.
We must follow your example.
And now Yue Ying comes in. Too bad she didn't bring juggernauts. But then again, this is all part of my plan. It's all part of my master plan. I must be the decoy, so that I beat Ding Zhuo the way I beat Sima Yi and many others. Yes, being surrounded and being attacked from all sides is all part of my plan. I just luring the enemy in a false sense of security. I mean, I got half of my morale back. It's working. Anyway, the last group of enemies is the Sub-General Li Ru. I do believe, Ding Zhuo, and I think, I forgot the other guy's name. I really don't care who that guy is. He's gonna die anyway because he's just a random generic officer that does not have high morale. Ding Zhuo, however, is the problem. Provided you're not playing as Zhuge Liang. If you are, here's the thing. You definitely got to, if you're going to grind, work on Zhuge Liang's defense. If you somehow manage to get a... Oh, G is the guy's name. Never mind. If you somehow manage to get a level 15 or level 16 Tortoise Amulet, that would be great for Zhuge Liang, because at the start of Zhuge Liang's leveling, he starts off with 3 stocks for items. However, his defense and attack are the lowest in the entirety of the game, even lower than Sima Yi's, which is saying a lot. So yeah, even if you do get some defensive upgrades from the enemies you kill, it is going to be a pain to level up Zhuge Liang the way that my edit characters leveled up. Unless you get like level 13, 14, 15, Tortoise Amulets from the start. Which is why I haven't, reset all the data when I start playing as these characters. Because again, these items can be passed around to everyone. This isn't the Empire's games where I have to wait several turns for them to be remade. So on that note, oh god! No, don't fret, ladies and gentlemen, that was part of my strategy too. I was trying to do the Faint Donkey attack. Yes. Yeah, I got bitch slapped. Okay. I got bitch slapped by Ding Zhuo, but it was all part of a strategy. So, let's just chop down this guy's health. Because all of his all the enemy officers are gone, and also Ding Zhuo is about to die. And it also helps that I have a blast orb on this fan too, because lots of enemies block. And once Zhuge Liang gets to level 7 and 8 in his fan, his attacks start becoming unblockable. So yeah, it's worth it once you get his weapon high enough, but him personally, his stats are rather low. At least, however, the strategy worked and Zhuge Liang has won the day. And got an upgrade in wing boots. Not like we're gonna need them. Because we don't intend on jumping high. At all. And with that said, Zhuge Liang's weapon is at a level 6. And that is the end of the Battle of Hanzhong. On that note, ladies and gentlemen, I'll see you guys in the next episode of Dynasty Warrior 6. When we, in part 37, take on the Battle of Runan. This is RVMan985. See you guys next time, and yes, there'll be another character taking place. It was fun having strategies, but Zhuge Liang has some seriously weak defenses. But then again, that's a part of his strategy. See ya!